Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, Namaskar. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, everyone. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening and welcome to the session. Sir, what should we do when we feel very isolated from the world? Whenever you feel isolated from the world, see, there is one simple thing. There is a particle called as neutrino. That neutrino is always with you. Okay. It's very common, like during this preparation phase or during life also, we feel sometime that we are isolated. Everyone is doing good. We don't have anyone with us. So remember this one thing: if there is a good phase, it will also pass. If there is a bad phase, it will also pass. So every phase which is there, it will also pass. So be in the moment, experience that. Everything which you are experiencing is a part of your life, a part of your journey. You have to excel in that field. So I welcome you all to this session. Let us start our discussion. Let us see the topics which we are having. The first topic which we are having is related to the new NDC goals. New NDC goals. This is going to be one such topic which is going to be relevant for the next 5 years. For the next 5 years, you will find that this is going to be relevant now. Like in 2021, there was announcement of Panch Amrit by Government of India, and now we have this new NDC goals. So this will remain relevant for the next 5 years. Now, coming to the second part, Cauvery Basin. So there is a survey with respect to this Cauvery Basin. So we are going to talk about this one also. Then UDAN scheme, it has been relaunched, revamped. We will talk about this one. Then we will talk about the inflation target also and antimatter also. So there are certain topics which will remain relevant for a long period of time. These topics will remain relevant for a long period of time. Others, they are also important, but mainly for 26 or 27 aspirants. Okay. So let's start with some of the questions. कुछ क्वेश्चन से स्टार्ट करते हैं. Whenever you feel isolated, you know that I am always there with you. देखो मैं आपसे हर दिन मिलने आता हूँ. So how you can feel isolated? You are meeting to me on daily basis. I am talking to you. So I speak with you for 1 hour, almost on daily basis, or at least 5 days a week. So how you can feel isolated? बस Saturday, Sunday, I am not meeting with you, but on daily basis, on almost like 5-day basis, I am meeting to you. So you don't consider me as part of your life? इन्वायरमेंट का किस किस टॉपिक पर ज्यादा फोकस करूं? लॉज, इंस्टीट्यूशन, इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, and then basics of ecosystem, and plus pollution chapter. So let us see this one thing. The Constitution of India provides for reservation for scheduled caste member in all public employment. The Constitution of India provides for reservation of seats in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha for members of scheduled caste. So here we have question number 1. We have the question number 1. The Constitution of India provides for reservation for scheduled caste in all public employment. B option, D option, B option. ए ऑप्शन। चलिए ये थोड़ा सा चैलेंजिंग क्वेश्चन है, सोचना पड़ेगा आपको। पीयूष सोनी, देखो हम लोग डेली क्लासेस करते हैं यहाँ पे करंट अफेयर्स की। वी आर हैविंग डेली क्लासेस हियर with respect to current affairs. Now see here, the Constitution of India provides for reservation for scheduled caste members in all public employment. So tell me about this one part. Is it in all public employment? Is it in all public employment? It cannot be there in all public employment. Okay. So see this part. That's why there is there that it is there in all public employment. तो यहाँ पे extreme word का इस्तेमाल हुआ है. In higher post, in scientific posts, in technical posts, there is no such reservation. So first part is incorrect. There is a reservation in Lok Sabha. Is there any reservation in Rajya Sabha? Have you seen this? In Rajya Sabha, do we have reservation? In Rajya Sabha, do we have reservation? In Rajya Sabha, do we have reservation? The answer is no. The reservation is there where there is election by the people. In the case of indirect election, there is no such reservation. So here again, there is no such reservation. So that's why second part is also incorrect. The answer will be D option. The biologics are produced from living sources. Biosimilars increase access to essential therapies for common people. Yes, correct. So here the answer will be option number D. In the first question, the answer will be option number D. देखो, there is a simple trick in our current affair class. एक simple सा trick है in our current affair class that if you are having a very simple question, rethink it, think it twice, think it thrice. There may be something in there. So C option in second question. C option will be correct here. I will come to your question example of yesterday's. I will come to that question. Third one, CSR is a mandatory obligation under section 135 of the Companies Act 2013. CSR funds are deposited by companies in Consolidated Fund of India. Question number 3. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. चलो 2 का आंसर तो सी है, नो डाउट. A option. So I think if you know, you can give this answer correctly. There is no such provision that it will go to the Consolidated Fund of India. So here the second option is incorrect. First one is correct. So answer is A option. Now we have this one thing. There was a question, there was a topic about reservation of 1/3 seat. I think there was a reservation of 1/3 seat. That was your question for women. How the 1/3 seats are going to be reserved for women. Let me give you an example. Let's say there is example. There are total 300 seats. Total 300 seats are there. Now out of this total 300 seat, let's say 100 seat that is for scheduled caste, that is reserved for scheduled caste. Now we are saying that 1/3 seats will be reserved for women. 1/3 seats will be reserved for women in case of Lok Sabha. So how it will be done? Now out of 100 seats, we will do the 1/3. So roughly around 33 seats here, and out of this remaining 200, we will reserve the 66 seats. If you count them, it becomes 99, roughly equal to 1/3. So roughly equal to 1/3. So as simple as that. Suppose we have total 300 seats. 100 seats are there for scheduled caste. So within scheduled caste, 33 will be for scheduled caste women. And this one will be for every woman. This one will be for every woman. So here, 33 seats will be exclusively reserved for women from scheduled caste, and 66 seats were reserved for every woman. So this is how the reservation will be made. You can see we have got 99. So out of the total seats, it is roughly around 1/3. So that is the concept of reservation, how it is going to be implemented. Chalo. So let's start. Okay. So we have this NDC. We have got this official NDC updation now. अब इंडिया का जो NDC है वो अपडेट हो गया है. So first of all, we have to be aware what exactly is this NDC. We have to be aware about this, that when we talk about NDC, what exactly is NDC? We have to know about this part, that what exactly is NDC, nationally determined contribution. So see, there is one thing called as Paris Agreement. There is one thing called as Paris Agreement. This is something which was finalized in 2015. And here, what we see, that every country made their own goal. Every country have made their own goal. All those countries who are parties to this Paris Agreement, all those countries who were party to this Paris Agreement, they have made their own goal. Goal for what? For what? This goal was for reduction, fight against climate change. Fight against climate change. Fight against climate change. That we have to fight against climate change, and for this very purpose, every country made their own goal. That we are going to have our own goals, we are going to have our own targets, and we are going to fulfill it. We are going to fulfill it. So first NDC was there. Then in 2021, in case of 2021, there was an updation. 2021, there was a Glasgow summit. So every country updated the NDC. Updated this NDC, nationally determined contribution. Every country have made their goal. This goal was called as nationally determined contribution. Later on in 2021, in the Glasgow summit, all the countries, they have updated their nationally determined contribution. तो उन्होंने फिर से अपना contribution को update किया. Now again in 2026, although many countries have done it in 2025 itself, कई countries ने 2025 में किया, but India has updated it in 2026. तो इंडिया ने 2026 में अभी लास्ट डे इसको डिक्लेयर किया है कि नाउ वी आर अपडेटिंग इट. तो दिस इज वन पार्ट कि वी हैव अपडेटेड इन 2026. इंडिया अपडेटेड इट अगेन. इंडिया ने वापस इसको अपडेट किया. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज दिस वन पार्ट कि व्हाई वी आर अपडेटिंग इट फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम। हम इसे टाइम टू टाइम अपडेट कर ही क्यों नहीं रहे, कर ही क्यों रहे, एक ही बार में क्यों नहीं डिसाइड कर लिया। We are making a smaller targets which are achievable, and plus with the increasing capacity of the country they are also increasing their target. तो कंट्रीज पहले छोटे छोटे टारगेट्स बना रहे हैं, उनको अचीव करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, एंड एट द सेम टाइम विथ एवरी एनडीसी अपडेशन दे आर ट्राइंग टू मेक इट मोर एंड मोर एम्बिशियस। हर बार इसे और ज्यादा एम्बिशियस बनाने की कोशिश की जाती है। यू आर ट्राइंग टू ऐड मोर एंड मोर like effort in order to fight against the climate change. So now what is the updated NDC of India? इंडिया का जो NDC है आखिर उसमें हुआ क्या है? तो फर्स्ट सी द करेंट NDC जो इंडिया ने 2021 में अपडेट किया था, 2022 में इसको ऑफिशियली दिया। तो एज पार्ट ऑफ दिस देयर वाज अ टारगेट दैट वी विल हैव 50% ऑफ इंस्टॉल्ड इलेक्ट्रिक पावर फ्रॉम नॉन फॉसिल सोर्सेज। हमारा एक टारगेट ये था कि वी विल हैव 50% ऑफ आवर कैपेसिटी फ्रॉम नॉन फॉसिल सोर्सेज। सेकेंड वाज द रिडक्शन ऑफ इंटेंसिटी ऑफ एमिशन पर यूनिट ऑफ जीडीपी बाय 44%। तो पहला तो ये था कि हमारी जो भी कैपेसिटी है एनर्जी की 50% ऑफ दैट विल बी फ्रॉम नॉन फॉसिल। सेकेंड पार्ट वाज दिस कि आवर एमिशन इंटेंसिटी रिडक्शन विल बी देयर, कि वी विल रिड्यूस आवर एमिशन इंटेंसिटी। इसका मतलब क्या होता है यह भी समझना कि व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस इंटेंसिटी ऑफ एमिशन पर यूनिट ऑफ जीडीपी। लेट्स से इन 2010, let's understand it by example. In 2010 our GDP was, let's say, 100 crore, and our emission was, हमारा emission क्या था, let's say 100 ton. Our emission was 100 ton. So now let's say in 2020 our GDP is, let us say, 200 crore. So our emission, हमारा emission कितना तक हो सकता था? Our emission could have been, हमारा emission वहां पे 200 करोड़ के आसपास में जा सकता था, कि 200 टन के आसपास में जाता। But what we say that we are reducing the emission intensity. We are reducing the emission intensity. That is, earlier for 100 crore we were having 100 ton. But now for 200 crore we are not having 200 ton. Rather, let us say we are having just 180 ton. We are having just 180 ton now. We have reduced our emission intensity now. Now we are having just 180 ton. So instead of having 200 ton, as compared to our GDP, we are just having 180 ton. And let us say that in 2030, if our GDP is reaching 300 crore, if our GDP is reaching 300 crore, so we are not going for 270 tons, rather we are reducing it further, we are bringing it to 240 ton. Let's say कि हमने 240 टन कर दिया। It means with every time, with addition of new GDP, we are also reducing our emission intensity. Now we are reducing our emission intensity. So there was a target that we will reduce it by 44%. कि हम इसे 44% तक कम करेंगे. And then the carbon sink will be from 2.5 to 3 billion ton of CO2 equivalent. We will have a carbon sink, means we will be absorbing this much carbon from the atmosphere. कि हम 2.5 to 3 billion ton carbon को absorb करेंगे. How we will absorb that? We will absorb that by planting the trees or doing some other carbon capture and sequestration technique. या तो हम प्लांट्स के द्वारा या किसी अन्य तकनीक से एटमॉस्फेरिक कार्बन को कैप्चर करेंगे। So this is one of the target which we have got in 2021-22, announced in 2021, formally submitted in 2022. तो इसको अनाउंस किया गया था 2021 में in Glasgow summit, and it was formally submitted to the United Nations in 2022. नाउ कमिंग टू दिस पार्ट कि व्हाट हैज चेंज नाउ, अब चेंज क्या हुआ है? तो चेंज इज दिस, emission intensity, emission intensity earlier it was 44%, now it has increased up to 47%. We will reduce our emission intensity by 47%, that we are going to reduce our emission intensity by 47%. Second thing, we will have energy capacity. Energy capacity earlier it was 50%, now it will be 60% from non-fossil fuels, from non-fossil fuels. Then third part is carbon sink. पहले हमारा टारगेट क्या था? Our carbon sink was 2.5 to 3 tons. 2.5 से 3 टन तक की बात थी. Now we have increased this to how much? We have increased this to 3.5 to 4 ton. Now we have increased it to 3.5 to 4 ton, and all these things are going to be achieved by 2035. तो पहले हमने 2030 का टारगेट दिया था. Earlier we have a target till 2030. Now we have a target till 2035. तो अब हमने टारगेट कब का दिया है? 2035 का. So I hope these 3-4 things are clear. First of all, what is Paris Agreement? What is NDC? Why the countries submit the NDC? What was India's initial NDC? The one which was updated in 2021 and the one which we have as of now. तो ये टॉपिक आपको क्लियर है कि what is NDC and related things? ये वो फिगर है जो आपको हमेशा के लिए याद रखना होगा. This is something which you have to keep in mind. Now, coming to the next part, coming to the next article, we have the Cauvery basin. We have this one thing called as Cauvery basin. देखो, the news article which is there, it is suggesting this part, that the flow in the Cauvery is expected to decline. Okay. It has been seen that there is a change in climate. What is being said? That there is a change in climate. Change in climate. Most regions, most areas will have high rainfall. Most areas will have high rainfall. Most rivers will have higher flow. Higher flow. Most rivers will have higher flow. But in the case of Cauvery, there is a expectation of decline. Expects decline in water flow. कि कावेरी में पानी का जो फ्लो है वो कम हो सकता है. There is an expectation that there can be a decline in this flow of water in Cauvery river. So there is a chance that it may have a decline. Now in 2018 there was an arrangement. In 2018 there was an arrangement which was facilitated by the Supreme Court. If you are not aware about the history, let me give you an idea here. Cauvery is one of the most disputed river between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. In fact, it is one of the major water disputes in India. It is one of the major interstate water disputes in India. There are other disputes also, but not of this level. So it is one of the most important or major water dispute in India. And why this dispute is there? See, Karnataka is one state which is having many such rivers passing through it. It is a large state also. It has multiple sources of water. But still, it's not that it has abundance of water. It is not that it has full supply of water so that it don't have to save it. So due to its population, due to its all other requirement, it requires the water. On the other side, Tamil Nadu is one such area which is falling in the rain shadow region of Western Ghat. When you will read geography, you will find that Tamil Nadu is one such area which is in the rain shadow region. There is a scarcity of rainfall. They are entirely dependent on the rivers, and that too smaller rivers, for any such irrigational activities. So there is a huge dependence on rivers. Second part is, in Tamil Nadu, paddy cultivation is one of the major cultivation, and paddy requires sufficient supply of water. So paddy cultivation also requires water. From time to time, we have seen that there has been water crisis in many important cities, even Chennai. Even in Chennai, they have been having water crisis from time to time. Now, in 2018, the Supreme Court, they have given a verdict that like 404 cubic feet water will be going to this Tamil Nadu, and around 284.75 CFT water will be going to Karnataka. Means higher proportion has been allocated to Tamil Nadu. ज्यादातर proportion Tamil Nadu को allot किया गया है. But still, Tamil Nadu requires more and more water. In 2023 also, there was a dispute between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka with respect to water from Cauvery river. तो एक ऐसा रिवर है जिसको लेकर डिस्प्यूट चलता ही रहता है दोनों स्टेट के बीच में. बट दीज न्यूज आर्टिकल्स आर नॉट फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म. ये आपको याद भी नहीं रखना है, ना ही आपको इस पे डायरेक्ट मेंस का भी कोई ऐसा सवाल आ सकता है. व्हाट यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड इज विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द रिवर कावेरी. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द कावेरी रिवर, its origin is in Tal Cauvery in Kurg district of Karnataka in Brahmagiri range of hills in Western Ghat. In Western Ghat, there is Brahmagiri range of hills, Kurg district of Karnataka and Tal Cauvery. So in Tal Cauvery, Kurg district of Karnataka, in case of Brahmagiri hills, in case of Western Ghats, we have the origin of the river Cauvery. This Cauvery river is passing through Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Union Territory of Puducherry. So the major part is there in, the major portion is there in Tamil Nadu. इसका जो longest portion है, that is there in Tamil Nadu. Okay, and the smallest portion is there in part of Puducherry. तो उसका smallest portion कहाँ पे? पुडुचेरी पे. तो there can be a question on this part कि कौन कौन स्टेट से होके पास करता है, किस टेरिटरी से होकर पास करता है. So this is the first part. See the location. Here we have tributaries. There is one thing called as Shimsha, which is lying entirely in part of Karnataka. Then we have Amravati, which is rising in Kerala, but it is rising in Kerala, but mostly there in Tamil Nadu. The Kabini river, which is both in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, but lying mostly in Karnataka. Bhavani river, the fourth largest and second longest, it is there in Kerala and Karnataka, but lies mostly in Tamil Nadu. And the longest tributary is of course Hemavati, which lies completely in case of Karnataka. So what we see that there are many tributaries of it, but 5 major tributaries are there. ठीक है, खैर ये भी आपको याद नहीं करना है कि where it lies. You have to keep in mind Shimsha, Hemavati, Kavani, Bhavani, Noil and Amravati. They are some of the most prominent tributaries of the river Cauvery. तो Cauvery river की जो main tributaries हैं, you have to keep that in mind. Okay. So this is one part. अब चलो मैं एक आपको क्वेश्चन भी दे रहा हूं. There is a question for you. That is the major waterfalls. The major waterfalls on river Cauvery. तो कावेरी रिवर पे कौन कौन से मेजर वाटरफॉल्स हैं ये आपको बताना है, अभी गूगल करके नहीं, मैप में प्रॉपर देखना है। यू हैव टू लुक इट इनटू मैप इन योर एटलस एंड देन यू हैव टू टेल मी। नहीं नहीं, जस्ट गो विथ वन न्यूज़पेपर, दैट इज सफिशिएंट। जस्ट गो विथ वन न्यूज़पेपर, इट इज सफिशिएंट। So I hope this part is clear कि कावेरी में क्या क्या है, which tributaries are there, which all things are there. I hope that part is clear. किसी को इसमें कोई डाउट? We'll take current affair class in UPSC batch 2027 English medium. See, we are having current affair class here on YouTube on daily basis. Apart from this, there will be a Adhyan batch. So two main things will be there with respect to current affairs. One, the daily current affair class on YouTube. Second will be Adhyan batch. तो आपको टास्क मैंने दे दिया है विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस पोर्शन ऑफ कावेरी रिवर, कल मैं पूछूंगा वापस से। नाउ कमिंग टू दिस वन पार्ट, देयर इज अ स्कीम कॉल्ड एज उड़ान स्कीम। उड़ान, so what is the full form of UDAN scheme? What is the full form of this UDAN scheme? What is the full form of this UDAN scheme? Any idea? क्या नाम है इसका पूरा? पूरे देश का आम नागरिक। यस, इट वाज so what was the aim here? What was the basic aim here? One of the aim was subsidized air travel, development of infra in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. That there is going to be a development of infrastructure in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. That was one of the aim. पूरे देश का आम नागरिक, so that आम नागरिक उड़ सके, आम नागरिक उड़ सके, इसके लिए इस स्कीम को स्टार्ट किया गया। So this was one of the aim here. We see that if we talk about the achievement, अगर achievement की बात की जाए तो 663 routes have been operationalized across 95 airport, heliport and water aerodromes. Okay. So these many things have been done as per PIB. ये PIB के हवाले से है। More than 3.41 lakh flights have been operated carrying 162 lakh passengers. It has been established in remote, hilly and island regions, boosting tourism, healthcare and emergency services. तो PIB के हिसाब से ये सभी चीजें यहाँ पे हुई है कि there is these many routes, these many airports and aerodromes, they have been established. Around 162 lakh passengers have used this UDAN scheme in the last 10 years. Okay. So in the last 10 years, from 2016 to 2026, these many people have got the benefit here. So now what we will see, that there is a new part of it. There is a modified UDAN which is going to be launched. Time period will be again for next 10 years. From financial year 2026-27 to 2035-36. And the budget this time is 28,000 crore. Earlier, if we look at this, like what is going to be done under this scheme? There will be development of aerodromes. So there will be 100 airports from existing unserved airstrips. तो ऐसा नहीं कि नए एयरपोर्ट्स बनाए जाएंगे, द एग्जिस्टिंग एयर स्ट्रिप्स विच आर देयर they will get upgraded. So many of the airports which are waiting to be declared as airports, उनका नंबर अब लग सकता है. बहुत सारे एयरपोर्ट्स हैं ना जिनको अभी तक एयरपोर्ट माना ही नहीं जा रहा था, कि people were trying to learn the vehicles there, कि जिनको वाहन चलाना नहीं आता, those who don't know how to drive, they used to go to those airports, and that airport was being used as a tool, as a place for learning vehicles, for learning bike. Some people are using that for playing cricket, some people for other activities. So many of these underserved or unserved air strips are there. Now they are going to be upgraded in form of airports. Okay. So they are going to be upgraded in form of airports. What we see, there is going to be focus on hilly, remote island and aspirational regions. There is going to be 200 modern helipads. There is going to be 200 modern helipads, and around 10,000 crore rupees will be given to airline operators in viability gap funding if they are not becoming viable, यानी कि उनका बिजनेस जो है वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो पा रहा है, तो there is a fund of around 10,000 crore which will be there for airlines. So airlines, if they are not getting sufficient number of consumers, if they are not having good number of consumers, then they will also be paid the compensation. तो उनको compensation भी मिलेगा. So these all things will be done here as part of the modified UDAN scheme. There is also procurement of Dhruv helicopters for Pavan Hans and Dornier aircraft for Alliance Air. So even some of the new aircrafts, made in India helicopters are also going to be used under this modified UDAN scheme. So we will have the Indian helicopters also in the picture now. So till now, there was focus only on infrastructure part, only on the cheaper air travel. But now there is going to be a focus on induction of Indian helicopters, Indian aircrafts. Okay. आधा तो लैंग्वेज के कारण ऊपर से जाता है, ऐसा क्यों? If why? Because of English? मैं इंग्लिश में बोलता हूं इसके लिए. हाँ, तो we are having a classes in Hindi also. We are having classes in Hindi also. We are having classes in English also. Now, coming to this part, the next portion, inflation targeting. Okay. Now, in our country, there is a system of inflation targeting which has been going on for almost 10 years now. Anjana Kumari. देखो Anjana Kumari, I will suggest you that from magazine focus on mains related thing. बाकी prelims के लिए तो यहाँ से भी काफी है. For prelims, even these topics are sufficient. Focus on mains specific articles. Okay. And if possible, read one editorial on daily basis. So there is one concept called as inflation targeting. तो हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है कि the union government it decides what it decide, the limit for inflation, that what should be the limit for inflation, and how it does so, in consultation with RBI. In consultation with RBI. कि RBI के साथ consultation करके they decide that what should be the inflation target. Inflation कितना होना चाहिए? First of all, what is inflation? I think every one of you might be aware about what is inflation. Inflation is a increase in the prices of a basket of goods over a period of time. Increase in the prices of basket of goods over a period of time, that is called as inflation. Okay. Suppose that in the month of Feb, जैसे एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे लेते हैं कि there is a basket of good. In this we are having biscuit, in this we are having like pulses, in this we are having bread, butter, vegetable, milk and most importantly tea. ये मेरे अपने तरफ से है. Suppose there is a basket of good, most importantly tea, this is from my side. So let us say in the month of January the price of this was rupees 500. In the month of Feb the price of it became 520 rupees. इसका दाम बढ़ के 520 रुपया हो गया. So what we will see, there is an increase of 20 rupees. It means there is an inflation of 4%. यहाँ पे 4% का inflation है. If the price becomes 540 rupees in case of March, so now what we will do? We will use 20 over 520. तो ये 4% से थोड़ा नीचे चला गया. Now this is less than 4%. क्यों? There has been increase of only 20 rupees. So now we are not going to calculate from January. We are going to calculate from this Feb month. So we talk about that inflation is year long also. एक पिछले साल से भी compare किया जाता है. And one inflation is also compared with the last month. Generally पिछले month से भी compare किया जाता है. So this is what we do in the case of inflation. We try to compare the prices of a basket of goods over a period of time. So now what we see that government has given a mandate to the RBI, and if we talk about RBI, here it is about MPC, Monetary Policy Committee. So there is a target that inflation should be at 4% with a margin of 2% on either side. इसका मतलब 2 से 6% के बीच में हो सकता है हमारा inflation. That the inflation has to be there between 2 to 6%. Inflation should not be increasing from 2 to 6%. इससे ना ज़्यादा हो ना इससे कम हो. But ideally it has to remain at 4%. कि ideally 4% के आसपास में हो. Ideally 4% के आसपास में हो plus minus 2. That from 2 to 6%. इसके आसपास में inflation रहे. Now what we see in March 2021, the government maintained the same target. ठीक है, तो पहले 2016 में ये दिया गया था for 5 years. Again in 2021, the same target was extended for the next 5 years. And now again in 2026, the same target has been extended for another 5 years. जब अगले 5 साल तक भी आपको यही मेंटेन करके रखना है. Now there is a monetary policy committee. There is this one thing, monetary policy committee. Okay. So there is a monetary policy committee which has got 6 members. So this monetary policy committee is primarily tasked with the role of maintaining the inflation in the economy. तो हमारे यहाँ inflation को regulate करने का, inflation को monitor करने का काम MPC का है, the monetary policy committee. It is a 6-membered committee. 3 people are from RBI, 3 people are from the government side. तो 3 लोग government की तरफ से, 3 लोग RBI की तरफ से. And then what we see that the governor of RBI has the casting vote. कि अगर दोनों लोगों का वोट बराबर हो जाए तो RBI गवर्नर ने जैसा बोला वैसा ही होगा. So what we see that they have got 6 members. It is a statutory 6-member body constituted by Government of India under RBI Act 1934. तो ये क्या करती है? It is fixing the benchmark repo rate to maintain inflation target while fostering growth. और इसके चेयरमैन कौन होंगे? RBI गवर्नर. They meet at least 4 times a year using a majority vote to set monetary policy. So they decide by majority, but remember, in case of a tie, the vote of RBI governor will be considered as the casting vote. So here you have to keep this one thing in mind, that monetary policy committee is finally responsible for maintaining the inflation level in India. How do they do so? They are doing it by controlling the money supply in the economy. They are trying to control the money supply in the economy. And how do they perform that? by multiple things like repo rate, reverse repo rate, open market operations और many other instrument. इन सभी के माध्यम से वो इन्फ्लेशन को रेगुलेट करके रखते हैं. तो प्राइमरली इट इज रेपो रेट थ्रू विच इट इज बीइंग कंट्रोल्ड. तो दिस टारगेट आई थिंक इट इज ऑल्सो क्लियर कि टारगेट आखिर है क्या. व्हाट इज द टारगेट ऑफ दिस एमपीसी फॉर नेक्स्ट 4-5 years ऑल्सो 4% हैज बीन फिक्स्ड. सर जी हमारे यहाँ कई जगह पर पेट्रोल पंप बंद हो रहे हैं. Like right now, I'm not having any idea about it that whether it is getting closed or not. Okay. Some people have told this that some of the petrol pumps are getting closed. And there may be somewhat challenge, but what we see that the war is almost about to end. The war is almost about to end. Iran has emerged victorious. There is a chance that now the crisis of the oil might be resolved because Iran has allowed countries like China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and others to carry out their business. There might be some crisis, but Iran has effectively, like, there is a different path. If US decides that we are going to nuke it, then that is different. US ने फिर उसको जापान जैसा क्राइसिस क्रिएट करना है तो that is a different thing. But in this war, conventionally US has lost. Conventionally अगर देखा जाए तो US has lost it. नहीं, right now we see that the war is getting somewhat like slower. There is a chance that it may be resolved in a few days. एक दो दिनों में resolve होने के chances हैं. Not with surety, but there is a chance. Now coming to one more part. Meanwhile in the world, there is anti-protons or antimatter. There is a term called as antimatter. So what is antimatter and why we are discussing this? Basically, there is one thing called as antiproton. There is one thing called as antiproton. So antiproton has got a bus ride. Okay, truck ride actually. They have got a truck ride in case of Geneva, Switzerland. So in case of Geneva, Switzerland, antiprotons were taken in a vacuum chamber. They have traveled around the city for approximately 4 hours. तो 4-5 घंटे वो सिटी से घुमाकर लाया गया है. कि antimatter has gone throughout the city, and it has been seen that once they have returned back, most of them were present there. Around 90% of the antimatter was present in that vacuum chamber. So 90% उसमें से मिला भी है. So what we see, there is one thing called as antimatter. They are just opposite particle, just opposite of matter. Just opposite of matter means they have same mass but opposite charge. So suppose for example, what is the antimatter of proton? अब ये बताओ antimatter proton का क्या होता है? What is the antimatter of proton? Proton का antimatter क्या होगा? What is antimatter? Antimatter is a particle which is having the same mass but opposite charge. It is having the same mass but opposite charge. So can you tell me what will be the antimatter for proton? Proton का antimatter क्या होता है? Yes, it is not electron. Remember this, Rishabh. Electron is a matter. Electron is not an antimatter. Plus, प्रोटॉन इज हेवियर एज कंपेयर टू इलेक्ट्रॉन। तो प्रोटॉन और इलेक्ट्रॉन का मास सेम नहीं होता। प्रोटॉन एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन इज नॉट हैविंग सेम मास। So proton and electron are not having same mass. So electron is not an antimatter of for proton. For proton, we have the antimatter which is called as antiproton. 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 So in the same manner, you will find that. Now, can you tell me what is the antimatter of electron? What is the antimatter of electron? When we talk about electron, they have an antimatter which is called as positron. उसका नाम है positron. There is an antimatter of electron called as positron. So what we see that there is one thing called as antimatter. Antimatter is something which is just opposite of matter, so same mass but opposite charge. Like for proton there is antiproton, for electron there is positron. So they are the antimatters. ये antimatters होते हैं. They are having the antimatters. Now what we see, if they collide with each other, if they are having collision, they will annihilate each other. If they collide, they annihilate each other. So they are just killing each other. That is one thing which we see. They annihilate each other. Now in the present times, अभी के समय में हम लोग क्या देखते हैं कि matter is very much abundant. Matter is abundant, but antimatter is not easily found. Matter तो बहुत अधिक है, but antimatter is difficult to be found. Antimatter को पाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. So now there is a theory which suggests that maybe the amount of matter was almost twice of antimatter, or somehow in a mysterious way antimatter has been lost, they have vanished. So there are multiple theories, but अभी तक इसमें से कोई भी ऐसा proof नहीं हुआ है कि why the antimatters are not existing around us. From the exam perspective, आपको क्या याद रखना है कि what is antimatter? Antimatter is just opposite of matter. It is having same mass but opposite charge. It is having same mass but opposite charge. Like proton has antiproton, the electron has got positron. In same manner, there are many subatomic particles. They all have their antimatter. लगभग सभी जो subatomic particles होंगे, सबका अपना अपना एक antimatter होगा. So this is one part. Now I think you know about this. कि बस electron, proton, neutron नहीं होता. There are many other subatomic particles. I think last week itself we have talked about the 80th subatomic particle XICC+. हमने एक पार्टिकल के बारे में पढ़ा था XICC+. This is one of the subatomic particle which was discovered recently, जिसको अभी हाल फिलहाल में डिस्कवर किया गया था in the Large Hadron Collider. So there are many such particles which are existing. They all are having their own antimatters. Okay. So I hope ये सभी पार्ट जो है वो आपको क्लियर है कि there is a new NDC goal. This is one of the most important part. Then we have Cauvery basin, UDAN scheme, inflation targeting, antimatter. जिसमें स्टार मार्क है, it is relevant for a longer period of time. Okay. Any doubt, any confusion? इससे राइटिंग क्लास कब होगी? देखो टाइम ही नहीं मिल पा रहा, मैं क्या बोलूं. What can I say? This Saturday I thought of taking some class, but this Saturday I will be going to Prayagraj. Again, will not be getting time. So let's meet then tomorrow. अभी मैगजीन्स शायद अपलोड हुई नहीं है. वंस इट इज डन, हाँ मेंस के पहले तो ऑफ कोर्स करेंगे. We will try to do it as soon as possible. So let's meet then in tomorrow's session, and then we will discuss the remaining things. Thank you everyone. Take care and all the best. Thank you.